did what I had to do.
Wanda, what do you know about the multiverse?
Viz had his theories. But I become the enemy.
All right, guys. Hey, welcome to Views from the Deck. My name is Vince White, creator of The Legend of Willpower and the Powerverse and Indie Deck. And with Views from the Deck, we decided to take a stance from the Indie Deck point of view, where we basically look at indie characters and characters in general. And today we wanted to go ahead and take a look at Doctor Strange and Wanda, or Scarlet Witch, being that the Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness is out. And, we want to look at them from a indie deck point of view. So I said, hey, why not try and make a Doctor Strange and Scarlet Witch indie deck card? So, hey, guys, let's get into it, okay? All right, so let's go ahead. We're going to go through the process here. We're going to pull up a blank indie deck card. All right, I picked some pictures of Doctor Strange and Wanda. All right, so we're going to go in here. We're going to basically create his name. Put that in there. Hold on. All right, got the front kind of looking good. Go to the back. All right, let me see. All right, so we gotta get that profile pic going. So I'll pull his picture to the back. Once I get it to the back, what I do is I basically size it up. Normally when I draw the characters, I normally draw the characters. Last Fire Deck we had an animation artist do most of the art. So normally the heads are a little smaller than the profile pic. So I'll take that picture, scan it up, get it to fit in the profile section, crop it out. Cool, so that looks pretty cool. All right, so I took the liberty of going to Wikipedia and looked up both Doctor Strange and Scarlet Witch to try to see, what information he had, because as you know, on the indie deck, on the back of the cards, we fill out all the personal information. So, all right, so we got Doctor Strange. Who was named Doctor Strange? But wait a second. Stephen. Yeah, Doctor Strange is his name. Stephen. What is his name? Stephen Vincent Strange. I don't know if that's going to fit. So, let me shorten it up a little bit. All right, we're going to take his middle name out. We'll leave his middle initial. I didn't know his middle name was Vincent. Stephen Vincent Strange. That's my name, Vincent. Vince White. All right, so that's kind of cool. So whatever. All right, so his age. They don't really list his age. So I'm using a template from another card. So 47. Hold on, I got some people chiming in on me here. Oh, wait a second. Hold on, wait a second. What? All right, so yeah, about 5'11". You think 47 is too old? I'm not sure. I think 47 is okay. 5'11". Not gonna make him 6 feet like everybody wants to make their characters 6 feet. Give him an inch. To go to 6 feet. Ethnicity. I think Doctor Strange looks sort of Italian to me. I mean, what do you think? I think Italian works. Italian works well. Let me see. He's going to be he's from the United States, right? I mean, our dogs are barking in the background. All right, so he's affiliated with the Avengers. first appearance. Where is his first appearance? Where is his first appearance? Hold on. It says Strange Tales. I always wondered about that. How were the comics named after the characters, or were the characters named after those comics back then? Because they had like Amazing Tales, and that's where like Spider-Man first appeared, and then he became the Amazing Spider-Man because he was in Amazing Tales, and Doctor Strange is in like Strange Tales, or was it Amazing Adventures, something like that, for Spider-Man, and then it became, you know, the Amazing Spider-Man. All right, so let's get his bio down. We've got Strange Tales number 110. That's where he first appeared. I have to go check that book out. I wonder if I can buy that online somewhere. And the Avengers. So this is what I normally do. I start off with all the text information first, and then I go and fill in all the attributes, you know, the physical might and all that stuff. So, okay, I have to write out. Obviously they don't kind of have. Well, they might have his bio, but I didn't scoop it up, so I'm gonna write my own bio for him. Once Master Surgeon was left with, and it'll always start out clunky, and a lot of guys when they, I get indie deck submissions, right, and from creators, and the creators have to write, you know, their bio, and I say, well, keep it down to like, I think I said like 440 characters or something like that. Man, I'll get like 2-3 paragraphs of text. I'm like, how am I going to fit this in the back of a baseball card? So I have to go in and like Doctor Strange and be a surgeon and start cutting. And often I just rephrase everything. Yeah, so let me see. So once Master Surgeon was left with both hands crushed and unable to perform the once skilled surgery, he was renowned. Okay. Seeking all forms of healing, he found himself seeking the mystic arts to cure his now mangled digits. Instead, he found the ways of magic. Master of mystic arts, black magic. Okay, what does his power say? Okay, cloak of levitation, of course. So this is off of Wikipedia. Eye of Agamotto, obviously. Agamotto, which once held the time stone, right? So I wonder if the Eye of Agamotto is powered by the time stone, or was it just a container? Did some of the power transfer into that necklace? I don't know. You know, I never really understood that. That wasn't completely clarified for me. That is. Skilled martial artist. You know, you never think of Stephen Strange being a skilled martial artist. You know, like, but if he was trained in Kung La or wherever, is that the same place where Iron Fist is from? And is that the same place where the Ten Rings guy is from? I'm not sure, but I do know that the bald-headed lady that knocked him out of his body was a martial artist, and I guess they taught them martial arts. So I guess Stephen Strange is a martial artist. So let me go back here and fix this, because this is really clunky here. Stephen wants a Stephen, a once master surgeon, okay, was left with both hands crushed and unable to perform. Was involved in a car accident. Okay, we're gonna fill this out a little bit. I see what I'm doing here. And was left with both hands crushed and unable to perform the once skilled surgery he was renowned for. Seeking all forms of healing. let me see. He found him. He found himself seeking the mystic arts to cure his now mangled digits. Instead, he found the ways of magic. Okay. Instead, he found. Well, okay. Instead. He found himself seeking the mystic arts to cure his now mangled digits. Instead, he found the ways of magic. Okay. Okay. All right. So let's get these powers down. That reads okay. I mean, we are just trying to, see how an indie deck card of Doctor Strange will look. And if you have seen Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, I am very curious if what you think about it. Okay, I'll tell you. I'll try to not give any spoilers. I thought that the MacGuffin, the reason why all this was taking place was a little weak. But as the movie moved on and more action started to take place, I found myself forgiving the weakness of the MacGuffin and enjoying the ride, right? And it was fun enough. It was fun enough. But it had a lot of little plot holes, in my opinion. But if you thought there were plot holes, or even if you enjoyed it, leave a comment. Tell me, because I like to go back and read these things. I interact with you guys, and sometimes I'll make a controversial post, and the highlight of my day is going back and responding to each. And some of my responses cause even more responses and more controversy. But the good kind, the good kind. Good comic book controversy, Okay, so, all right, so now, okay. So, we're getting into his combat skills. All right, so, his mental acuity, I gave him a +10. What that means is he's a 10 plus another 10. So he's actually a 20. He's actually a 20. Combat skills, I got him at a 7. Like he could fight a company of men. I think he could fight a company of men. His speed, he's a starting pro athlete, Olympic speed, can keep up with street traffic, can run through time and space. Hey, with his sling blade and his Aya Agamotto, he could run through time and space. To me, he deserves to have a 10 plus. I think. Like his base would probably be a 6 is a gifted collegiate athlete because of his martial arts skills. But his max, which is the sort of like the pink or red color. Now his energy level, I think his energy level is a 7 starting. Energy level, a force of nature for sure. And what's 8? He can defy the laws of physics, argue with existence, can defy creation, cannot be unmade. Doctor Strange can be unmade. He is about a 9. He can argue with existence because he can go to that spiritual level. Who knows if he's going to win the argument, but he can argue with existence. I think so. I probably should have said he can defy the laws of physics, but argue with existence works. I mean, after all, he did face Damatu. What was his name? Domatu. I can never get those crazy names right. All right, so let's add this up. So how you get your power ratings in Indie Deck is you just add up all the numbers of the criteria of his different attributes, and we already know the 10 pluses are 20s, so that's 40. That's 49. All right, so we got that, and then all the greens, the little green boxes. When they're highlighted green, he gets a 10 for each of those. So he's a part of a team. He has magic, and he can time travel. That's 30 extra points. So he had a 70 plus 30. Boom. He's at 100. All right. So let's do Scarlet Witch real quick. All right. Let's see what we got here. Let's change her name. I like this picture of her. This pic of her too. It looks very reminiscent of the Street Fighter game when they came out with that chunky manga style, which is, I wonder if the artist that drew Battle Chasers, I forget his name. I wonder if he drew that. I wonder if he drew those characters, because that's very much his style. Yeah, I don't know if she's a hero or a villain. I'm just gonna. I don't even know anti-hero works. I'm not even sure if that works. You know what she is? She's an unknown. She's an unknown. How would you classify Scarlet Witch? I mean, really? She started off as a villain, right? I mean, this is how the Avengers found her. She was attacking the Avengers with her brother, Quicksilver, and they sort of compromised her, or she grew on them, they grew on her. I don't know. And she found some redeeming qualities, and then she became an Avenger, right? And I think that's why in that one movie, I think who asked her? I think it was Hawkeye. He said, "If you stay here or whatever, you're good. But if you come out, you're an Avenger. So you need to make that choice." And then when she came out of that building, I think it was in Sokovia, she was an Avenger, right? So, all right. So let me see what do we have? Wanda Maximoff. Oh, that's not her real name. That's her name, not her real name. Scarlet Witch. How old is Scarlet Witch? How old would you say? About 30? About 30. 5'5" is good. She's a little thing. She's about 120 max. Throw those extra 5 pounds there since she had the kids. Ethnicity. She's Sokovian. Sokovians. And her country of origin is Sokovia. Sokovia. That's Sokovia from the 70s. That's the funkadelic Sokovia. What's going on in the Ukraine is very much what Wanda and her brother Pietro went through. And it starts to become a lot more clear how they were traumatized by the war. Now that you see the footage from Ukraine and you realize, people are just living their daily lives, and boom, a huge explosion, and you look up out of the rubble and you're lucky to survive. You see all dead bodies, and you see a freaking missile there that has Boeing written on it or something like that. But in her case, it was Stark Industries in the tank. I would kind of be mad at Tony Stark too. Like, imagine something like that happened and you saw a Tesla missile head just sitting there in your living room. Boy, I mean, that's what she was going through. And That's deep, man. The stuff going on in Ukraine is no joke. So Sokovia, they really did. I understand why they had to have the Sokovian Accords, because that was a lot of damage. That traumatized a lot of people. I gotta hand it to Marvel, man. They've done such a great job on these movies, and you can just watch them again and again, and you keep getting more and more from them. I'm trying to get this coffee to kick in. Oh gosh! You see how long it takes to do one of these cards, and that's not even the art. So you're just seeing. You gotta write out little things. It's about a good 20-30 minutes each. You wouldn't think so. Once you're laying out all the power sets and moving the bars, back and forth, and writing up the bios and stuff like that. That's why it's really important when you submit your indie deck card to sort of have the bio and the powers truncated so that it can fit in a box unedited. Okay, so as Sokovian orphan, Wanda was exposed to the Mind Stone by other state operators. Yeah, okay, I'll go with that. That and possible innate genetic potential gave her the ability to impose her will upon reality on various scales. At various scales. I hope I don't keep that. That reads so clunky. But I see a lot of you guys when you submit some of your writing, a lot of it is very clunky. A couple of you old school guys, you know how to write the back of a baseball card, info card for a character. You have all the flowery language like a once future king, whatever, blah blah. Now imbued with the powers of whatever. I'm like, okay, I like this. I like his little bio. His, a couple of you guys have written some really good bios. I mean, this is kind of cool just to see how these characters match up in Indie Deck. Okay, let me see. So she has energy and reality manipulation, access to magical energies, chaos magic, probability manipulation. Dang. Okay. Okay. I asked a question the other day to a friend of mine. His wife is a huge Scarlet Witch fan. Huge. She's like, oh, she's bodied everybody. She'll body everybody. And so I said, well, who would win between Scarlet Witch and the Phoenix? And I heard her do an audible pause. She was like, what? Well, because she's an X-Men fan as well, right? So she did an audible pause, and I thought, yeah, that is a very good question. Who would win? And the more we sort of talked about it, we kind of realized that their powers are sort of coming from the same thing. I think the Phoenix Force existed before creation, or comes from something outside of creation, and so does Wanda Maximoff's powers. Especially now that she started reading the Darkhold in the end of WandaVision. The Darkhold pulls its powers from the otherworldly beings that existed before creation. Right? So, all right. So, a Sokovian orphan, Wanda was exposed to the Mind Stone by other state operators. That and possible innate genetic potential gave her the ability to impose her will upon reality at various scales. Whoa, that's a mouthful. All right, so let's see. Combat skills. Physical might, she's going to be lacking a little bit. Mental acuity, shoot, she's a plus 10. She can understand the laws of nature and manifest I guess algorithms into reality, because that's kind of what her magic does. So her speed, let's see how fast she is. The combat skills, she's at a 10. Durability, she's at a 10. Man, that's pretty strong. Her speed, she's 10 plus. She can run through time and space as well. I'm down for that. And she cannot be unmade. She cannot be unmade. She is definitely a 10 plus because she's a Nexus being. You can't. I don't think you can unmake a Nexus being because they're so important to the timeline. That's what from what I understood from Loki, right? They're like an integral part in the timeline. They are like if the timeline was a string that you ran across your room, a Nexus being would be one of the thumbtacks that the string is attached to. All right, so Nate, look, we got them. Hey, let's go ahead and battle these dudes. So we got to pick the area of battle. So we're going to use the attributes. There's 6 attributes. Okay, so we're going to use the 4th attribute, which is the 5th attribute, which is speed. So, all right, so let's make these dudes fight, man. All right, so we're going to use the attributes. There's 6 attributes. We're going to roll a dice to pick what area that we're going to fight in. So 5, we're going to pick speed and agility. Okay, so they both have a 10 plus. All right, so Strange rolls a 6, Wanda rolls a 3, plus you add their attribute to it, so it's a 26 and 23. Doctor Strange runs the first one. Now we're going to go to combat skills. Doctor Strange's base combat skill is a 7, and Wanda's is a 10. Okay, so Doctor Strange rolls a 5, and Wanda rolls a 4. That makes, for Doctor Strange, that's 5 plus 7, that's 12. And for Wanda, 4 plus 10, that's 14. Wanda wins the battle in combat skills. All right, so let's go to the next area. I roll a 6. So the next area of combat is energy. Okay? All right, so Doctor Strange, he rolls a 4. Wanda rolls a 1. But Doctor Strange's 4 plus his base, which is 9, is 13. And Wanda's 1 plus her base, which is 20, is a 21. Wanda wins the third battle. And that's 2 out of 3. Wanda wins the battle. She wins the second fight, and the third fight. So Wanda wins the battle. Hey, so look, this is a really cool way of maybe making these guys fight. Turning the indie deck cards into something where you could actually battle them if you really wanted to. And I thought it was pretty cool to get both Wanda and Doctor Strange into our pretend indie deck cards. And I like how they ferreted and measured up in our system. I think it was pretty accurate. It was really fun to do that, and that's the whole beauty of this, to really see how characters match up by using one metric, of categorizing their abilities, and then you really get to see the characters on a grading scale that's equivalent to one another. So that was pretty fun, dude. So look, I'm gonna try to be professional here. If you like the video, smash that like button. And write in the comments, what you thought about this, what could be done better. If you like this whole idea of maybe using this combat system in the future. I know these are collectible cards, but it's cool if you could, hey, let's duke it out, So definitely let me know. I realized that I learned that comments actually makes the algorithm, help the video out as far as the algorithm is in the search results of YouTube and everything else. So yeah, dude, this was pretty fun. So I guess with that, get in the deck. And until next time, be powerful.